Rapfest Radio on rapfestradio.com. We're not number one. God is. We may not be the best, but our purpose is to lead you to the best. Jesus Christ. www.rapfestradio.com. Old school to new school. Classics to exclusives. Gospel hip-hop music and videos. Live video interviews Monday nights at 8 p.m. Monday nights at 8 p.m. Watch. Learn. Love. Support. Rapfest Radio on rapfestradio.com. Rapfestradio.com. Rapfestradio.com.
Critics wanna try to keep me in a box cubicle, wanna hold me down like Jesus when they nailed him to the cross, but now he's above the nails. Cuticles hotter than the usual, about to get critical. You can see my audio by listening to my visuals. I don't spit crack is whack. I spit prescribed drugs just for you. Yeah, I spit pharmaceuticals. Overheat the beef for God in the booth. It feels right. Go to Jamaica with 2 jackets on. That's what it feels like. God gave me the green light. I'm on my bench still been hotter than a gasoline fight. All I wanna hear is job well done. Forgot I'm on fire, burning up, well done. So much swag, I can donate some. Born hot like my mama made love to the sun.
So late, get him girl.
I've been going around 10, but I'm back again. Got these streets all hollering where the heck she been. Got my grown woman on, better check again. All heat, habanero like I'm Mexican. I've been spitting fire, no blowtorch hot, like the splitting of an atom hitting your porch hot. So late, pyro bot, kettle and pot. Transgressions turn to blessings when we cast our lot. I got treasures up in heaven, yeah, I made concessions. While you running around gossiping like you was Harvey Levin. I'm trying to work on this mission like I'm 007 and bring you heat like the fire that's in numbers 11. I'm making fun, what you expect? Town crier spitting fire till the dots connect. All hands on deck, it's time to project what the world's waiting for, but they didn't expect. Burn it up,
man. Top to target, I charge it like I'm looking through a bullseye. Never miss, aim's accurate, bullseye. Throwing in USB, God's without USE. Punchlines, I punch harder than UFC. Salvation, took a shot from a tall glass. Now I'm walking through life's hallway with a hall pass. And turned up all the way to the max, full blast. Drop the beat, watch them hit the floor. Lamar's class, had to tuck my pride in, couldn't let it get shine. Others make it hang out like a no disturb sign. Listen close, set the scope, look close, binoculars. Bless the beat, leave the junk, holy harmonica. Never stagnant, make moves, choreographer. Got success winking at me, photographer. No matter the weather, forgot I'm flowing under the weather. Flow hot, flow sick, floating a thermometer.
Make it hot.
you know I wasn't gonna leave without giving you some heat, right?
Question. What does a boxing gym in Washington Heights, New York City, have to do? Question. What is a boxing gym? Question. What does a boxing gym in Washington Heights, New York City, have to do with the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus? Come find out.
Hey, what's up? Please come join Christ Crucified Fellowship as we celebrate Good Friday and Easter this weekend. We'll see you there.
Rapfest Radio on rapfestradio.com. We're not number one. God is. We may not be the best, but our purpose is to lead you to the best. Jesus Christ. www.rapfestradio.com. Old school to new school. Classics to exclusives. Gospel hip-hop music and videos. Live video interviews Monday nights at 8 p.m. Monday nights at 8 p.m. Watch. Learn. Love. Support. Rapfest Radio on rapfestradio.com. Rapfestradio.com. Rapfestradio.com.
To them, some technique.
Here we go.
Hey.
Now we talking. Now we talking. My first screen is bad. Sorry about that, y'all. Welcome to Rapfest Radio, rapfestradio.com. Now we all the way to the top.
That's all right.
We look like giants.
You can see wearing shorts. It's hot.
Yeah, we are.
It is.
We are here. Sorry for the little technical stuff. You know, our engineer here is a little bugging out. You finished watching the video by Pyro. Dope video. Make it hot. He did. He made it hot.
It was crazy.
I love that little.
The graphics.
The graphic stuff is insane. Good stuff. Good stuff. Rich Perez in the building.
Yes.
We're excited to have him here, pastor of Christ Crucified Fellowship.
That's right.
It's like a tongue twister church. But Christ Crucified.
Or an in-your-face church.
In your face.
Christ Crucified, that's it.
That's it, straight up.
Yeah.
It's not one of those hidden, we love you, Jesus church.
Yeah, there you go.
Straight.
Right.
No, but that's good, man. Artist, man of God, husband, father, pastor, friend. What else?
I don't even know.
Police officer, no.
No, I am to my son.
Yo, but we're really excited to have you here today, man. For those people that are watching and don't know who Rich Perez is, he's a former member of a ministry called TRUCE that happened to minister at Rapfest.
Couple years
ago.
Couple years in a row. A couple years ago.
Yeah. Right. And
already. So.
Yeah, there you go. Go ahead. No flow.
A couple years ago.
But yeah, they ministered at Rapfest a couple of years ago, a couple of times in a row.
Right.
And a total blessing, man. The ministry is powerful. And it's so fitting to have you here now, having Nikki Cruz coming back this year for Rapfest.
That's right. Yeah.
So this is perfect, man. But I'll let you do the formal introduction, like who you are and a little bit about yourself.
Rich Perez. As Bert said, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a pastor, married to a beautiful bride. I know she's watching, Anna Perez. Two beautiful children, Josiah, my 4-year-old boy, and Hayden, my 2-month-old baby girl. We live in Washington Heights, New York, which is where I was born and raised. It's the northernmost community in Manhattan. And I pastor a small growing church community called Christ Crucified Fellowship, of which My wife and I and a couple other friends started about 1.5 years ago. So we've been at it. We're pretty fresh in the project, in the ministry. So yeah, I mean, you know, we just want to be able to reach God, or excuse me, reach the community for God, be able to share the gospel with the people through the local church, which is a burden and a calling that I know God has given me to serve the local church well, be able to share the gospel. So,
amen. I know we were speaking a little bit before the show, talking about your church. You were mentioning how the demographics of your church is mostly young people,
young
right?
people, yeah.
How are they finding out about your church? Are you doing community stuff, or are these just friends that you grew up with that are coming out?
Yeah, well, I think 90% of how people find out about Christ crucified is by word of mouth. So the people that have been gathering, let's say in the beginning months of CCF, were just friends of friends. And that kind of pattern seems to be the way that we grow.
Right.
You know, our friends are coming. They're sharing with their friends the gospel. They're bringing them to church. They're saying, man, this is dope. I didn't know church was supposed to be like that. It's challenging and convicting, but there's a sincerity behind what you guys are doing. So literally, I mean, we have a Twitter, we have a Facebook, and we have a website, but we do very little of that stuff. I think everything is really word of mouth. People from the neighborhood, we do community work. So we're well connected with local businesses. We're well connected with other churches. And so when we do stuff with other churches and when we connect with local businesses, people find out about that. And I think it helps too that I grew up there. And so I know a lot of the people.
And I was going to say, Washington Heights is a super populated place.
Yeah.
Any time of day you go to Washington Heights, I think any part of it, you're going to find, 20, 30, 40 people in the street doing something, going somewhere.
Yeah, well, when I did the research, when we came back, my wife and I moved upstate. I'm sure we'll talk about that later. And we moved back to the Heights. I wanted to kind of relearn my community because I know a lot can happen in very little time. So, and I saw the changes in the community. So the numbers were over 500,000 people in a 1 mile radius.
Wow.
So we're jam-packed.
Overpopulated.
Yeah,
no
we're
joke.
jam-packed. And so...
And half of those are cab drivers. I mean, I'm just saying.
Half of them are cab drivers. But you'll be surprised, man. We're getting some, it's changing a lot. We're getting a lot of Upper West Siders and Midtowners moving up. And
really?
Yeah, we're getting a lot of that. We've actually got several, just from conversation, several Broadway play actors moving up. Okay. So it's the face of the community's changing. I think the predominant culture is still the Hispanic culture in the Heights, but it's slowly dwindling. And so I think it helps that I'm from there, and so the fact that I know dudes from the corner, know dudes from certain blocks,
and you know the language of the community.
Know the language of the community.
So important. I think that's important for any pastor. Yeah. You can't just go pastor in Wisconsin without knowing what the hood is about or the neighborhood you're in is about. I mean, you could preach the word, but how do you relate to those people?
Sure. There's a disconnect that happens when you don't learn your community that the community does not appreciate, and almost turns a dull ear to your gospel that you're trying to preach. Now the gospel is powerful and it penetrates, and I'm not trying to advocate that learning our community kind of aids the gospel, because it doesn't need help, but you do a service to your community by learning them. Definitely. And they appreciate that, and that opens the door for the gospel. So
because they see you care as well.
Absolutely,
Again,
which is what we're called to do anyways.
You need to know what they need. Sure. Otherwise, you can't give them what they need if you don't know.
Sure, that's a good point.
So that's really important. Now, a lot of churches have started the last couple of years. Some meet. Pastor Jose Cruz was meeting like at a club, restaurant type bar. It was great because I used to see pictures like Easter service, and in the back is like a Budweiser sign,
Jack Daniels.
Yeah, Jack Daniels. You see the keg thing there. And some meet at reception halls, others meet at community centers. But you have the most unique location for a church. Well, tell us a bit about that.
Well, the only reason why I'm unique is because I'm sitting next to this stand.
They did not pay him to say that, but they grew.
You set me up. It's like an alley-oop.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we meet in a boxing gym. I mean, this is totally God, because prior to that, we were meeting in a good friend of mine, Andy's apartment, and we were having our services there. And we were fitting about 30 people, man.
I used to see those pictures back in the day.
Yeah.
People sitting on the sofa, like
standing up all over.
Three on a chair.
People standing in the foyer area, people sitting with their kids. It's like carriages. I'm like, shit, man, I gotta get by. I gotta go to the bathroom, kind of stuff. And then one Sunday at the apartment, we had a gentleman and his family come. They just heard by word of mouth that the church was happening there. And he was the owner, or he is the owner of a boxing gym in my neighborhood. So he came up to me after the service. He says, brother, nice to meet you. This is great, super encouraged. But I see that you guys are in need of space. I said, yeah, we're looking, we're praying. Shared with him some of the vision I had. And ultimately, he was just like, listen, I own a gym, a boxing gym nearby Dyckman Street. I don't know if that works for you guys. We're closed on Sundays just because of my faith. Sundays is my Sabbath. I like chilling with my family. You guys are more than welcome to hit that up. And I'm like, wow, that's dope. Awesome. So I guess as just time progressed, we ended up there. We actually did our first service January 8th in the boxing gym, and we've been there ever since.
What's the physical address of the location?
Yeah, the physical address is 651 Academy Street. New York, 10034.
And that's near the Dyckman.
And it's 2 blocks north of Dyckman. So it's the cross streets are Academy and Broadway.
That's the one train right there.
It's the A train leaves you closer.
Okay.
You can take the 1, but the A train leaves you closer. You get off on Dyckman, walk 2 blocks north.
And that's great as well.
You're at the church.
Closer to the train.
Right.
Because to start a church and be
for a community.
That helps. Yeah. That's awesome.
Absolutely, man.
That's cool. Do you have any particular challenges being in a gym?
I think the biggest challenge is that we have to be in there at least 2 hours earlier to kind of clean up, beautify the place. Our ladies are in charge of making sure that it doesn't smell like a boxing gym. And then the fellas are
grow some people out. Alice is like, kind of funky.
Yeah. So the girls are in charge of making sure that it doesn't smell bad. The dudes are in charge of setting up chairs. There's a section off to the side that recently we've had to switch our setup procedure. So there's a section over off to the right where it's just literally 7 punching bags, 70 pounds each. And before we used to just leave them because we didn't need that space, but recently the numbers have been climbing where we need to take off those punching bags and almost use it. I made a joke from the pulpit the other day that was our overflow, section. I mean, it's literally in the same space, but because we've never used it, it's kind of like our overflow now. So
how many people you have in your church now, more or less?
Averaging about 70 people in the last month and a half, I want to say.
You started a year and a half ago.
And we started a year and a half ago with around 5 people meeting in my apartment for just Bible studies. And we were doing that weekly. And the numbers just began to grow. We started off another group, so we didn't jump right into Sunday service. We were doing small groups, and when we climbed to a large number, we broke that small group, started another small group. So now we had 2 functioning small groups, and then we started to have the conversation. Maybe we should do something maybe once a month to bring these 2 groups together.
Right.
And that's what turned into our Sunday worship. So we actually went from having 1 group to 2 groups to 1 Sunday out of the month worshiping to now 2 Sundays out of the month worshiping, and then this past Easter we went into every week. So it was a process, yeah.
So when did that happen? When did that knock on your heart say, Rich, you're gonna be a pastor?
I remember clearly. It was at 19. I was sitting at a service in my old church, Primera Iglesia Bautista Hispana de Manhattan.
I think I went there for a truce rehearsal.
Yes, that's right. You did. Yeah. You did. That's right.
Like a second level
pulpit kind of area. So I was 19. I was sitting in the balcony area, and the pastor was talking about preaching the gospel and being called and who will go. And I felt it loud and clear. God was calling me to be a teacher, preacher, and I was like, man, I really don't know what to do with this. So kind of went up to the pastor after that, and he started to disciple me in that particular calling. And then it just started to develop from there. Went to school, came back, and then we started doing some work.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
I don't know if you wanted to get into the promo now, but
go ahead.
Well, one of the things that you talked about, you have different people, and talk about this promo. This is something different, and I'm sure it's something you probably didn't know if you would get to this.
Yeah.
Now, being such a small church, because sometimes people take longer to do certain things based on who they have to help them do things, and you've been fortunate and blessed with some people that have been able to create even a promo for a past service that you had.
Yeah, so this promo that we'll see now was actually our Good Friday and Easter promo, because at that time we were already growing in numbers, and we say, man, let's just for the first time do something where we would advertise ourselves in a bigger way. So we have the blessing of having good brother Joshua Itiola, who was also a former member of TRUCE, kind of during my later years, and he's a videographer. I mean, he absolutely killed it. Andy Mineo was also behind the creative process of this, and so we said, all right, what are some of the unique things about us in the church and how it relates to Easter and Good Friday? So we said, well, let's just make a little commercial where we meet. People don't naturally think church happens in a gym, a boxing gym, so let's just kind of fit all those ideas together, and we came up with this promo.
Cool, let's check it out here, FS Radio, FSradio.com.
Would you pour out your spirit on our city today, God? Would you show up in the middle of our city, God?
Question: what does a boxing gym in Washington Heights, New York City, have to do with the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus? Come find out.
Hey, what's up? Please come join Christ Crucified Fellowship as we celebrate Good Friday and Easter this weekend. We'll see you there.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's short, sweet.
And I thought about I don't know if you remember Carmen, the singer Carmen. He does a song that was like enacted into the champion, and it had that theme about it was a box. There used to be a mime for it, and the mime was a boxing match between Jesus and the devil, and it was while Jesus was kind of going through the idea of him being dead for 3 days and resurrected.
Oh, sure.
So it kind of like I thought about that when I saw this. I'm like, this is great because you're talking about that battle even at the same time when it comes to
that's right. Good Friday, Easter.
Yeah, so I mean that was awesome.
Yeah, that's dope.
You didn't think about it.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that. That's dope. Yeah.
I think
I knew that. I told Josh. I called Josh as a Josh.
Oh, thank you, bro.
Listen,
but I think that's a great area to just. I mean, the battle in itself of ministering to that community and the challenge that you'll face. To be in a gym every day is just even another way of the imagery with it.
Yeah, I mean, it helps that I preach from the ring.
People are intimidated.
No, you don't. I don't preach from the ring.
You put a towel around your neck, right?
And now the sermon, Richard.
There you go. Stand for the national anthem in all languages, all countries.
Yeah.
But where does music fall in now? Now that you're a pastor, I mean, it almost seemed. I think we talked about this last week for a little bit. It almost seemed like when TRUCE was getting up to a peak, when everything just kind of exploded in a good way.
Sure.
Where Andy Mineo comes out, See Light is birth basically. Alex gets called and he's doing all this production for Reach Records. Josh, of course, with his video work. David Ham is managing people left and right.
David Ham is just the name is just.
He's a ham. He's a ham. He's a David Ham.
He's just great.
I hope
then Sheena as well with her ministry took off. I mean, and who knows who else? And there's so many people in TRUCE. But for you, does music take a back burner, or are you back into music? Is that going to be something you're going to go back into again, or what?
Yeah, I think it did when I got married. It definitely took a back seat because I began to notice that my first ministry was now my family, and I needed to focus on that. And then, right after that was just the calling God had given me to pastor and then plant this church. And so music was just an afterthought for me. I'm just like, man, if I get time to, at that point, if I get a chance to do it, I'll do it. But one of the things that happened that really encouraged me to pursue music again was when, you know, good friend Andy Mineo lived in our apartment for about 4 months. He finished school, didn't really have anywhere to go, so me and my wife opened our doors to him. He lived with us for 4 months, and it was just a good bonding time. We built so well, and so many nights conversation was, Rich, you're a great artist. I love your voice for hip hop. When are you gonna do it again? And I'm just like, I'm very passive. I'm a very passive guy. You know, I'm not like, hey, I'm a rapper, put me on your album, Andy. You know, it really just came out of friendship that he said, man, I really want you on. I really want to see you doing music.
I was bummed when Reflections, the sun didn't even continue.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Alex, that's Alex's fault.
Alex's fault.
Yeah, no, it's
I remember doing the flyer for the coffee house.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was back in the day.
They were like, yo, send me a promo picture.
They were like, yo, we need somebody for coffee. I was like, all right,
yeah. No, I guess life just happened. It wasn't.
No, I'm sure. I mean, he went one direction, and I think that's what he was saying too. That it's just awesome to see that ministry continue to grow, even though necessarily not everyone together, but everyone still followed, you know, some pursuit of their purpose, you know, in their ministry, and that's awesome to see.
Yeah, but I think for me that situation with Andy was definitely, and my wife as well. My wife is also always very supportive. She knows every lyric that I've ever written.
There's a video that I was almost gonna put it up. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's
Take a Deep Breath.
Take a Deep Breath. But then I saw there was too much with the big. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. But there's a video that Andy did of you doing rap, and your wife is in the back there, like trying to quote the words and moving and everything. And I'm like, that's good. That's cool. Support.
So music is now something that with good time management. It's never going to take precedence, you know, over my family and my ministry in the church. But I guess as I manage my time well and steward it well, I have the ability to pursue it because I know that God's given me that gift, and people have been affirming that and encouraged me in it. So guys like Andy and my wife are definitely at the forefront of me wanting to pursue music now and kind of.
But it's not like what you're saying. Like if you don't come out.
Man, if I don't ever get to do it, if I don't ever get to do music, I'm totally satisfied where God has me.
And that's important. I mean, it's good to see that you're going back to you're sticking with your roots, and not just what a lot of artists, and I think we've talked about all the time. People just get big and then they go out and then they never come back and given anything back, anything effective back. But the fact that you're planting the church there and making an effort to minister to yourself, almost to a mirror image of what you may have been growing up.
Right.
So I mean, I think
in a more direct way.
And
my music could probably do that,
of course.
But I guess,
but this is even more.
But
it's like we always say, after the music stops, what's next, right? So what happens when you're off of the stage? And you may not go back to that community, but now you're living in the community. You're there every Sunday. You're there every during the week ministering with a group of people. And so you're making not just a 5-minute or 15-minute set of an impact, but now you're
now I'm actually
because you could walk
time with guys,
and you could walk out your house one day and they'll just see you, but they'll know who you are and they'll really see that you're making some type of Yeah, that's awesome. I think that's great.
How do you classify your church? Is it, many people say, I go to this cool urban hip hop type church. Is it a hip hop type church?
I really try to stay away from that. So I think I'm really intentional. And this is why I'm very careful with pursuing the music. I'm definitely going to, but I'm very careful in how I do it. I want to make sure that my hats are very distinguishable. I'm a pastor right now. I am a father right now. I'm a husband right now. I am an artist right now. And so I try to steer from people thinking that we're a hip-hop church, because then we're kind of restricting ourselves. Right. I mean, I want to see a multi-ethnic, multi-generational church where we live, where I have that Dominican immigrant and then I have their kids there who prefer English, and I have that Mexican, that Anglo, that African American. I want the rock heads, alternative head, hip hop heads. Now naturally hip hoppers are going to come to our church because you know, the leadership reflects that. But I don't want that to be the restriction. That's not my target. My target is Washington Heights.
But I think, I mean, you know, I have a little, you know, personal experience with you growing in church, because I knew about you guys doing the groups, and then when you had your first event,
Vision,
you did the vision casting, and that was somewhat of like a launch, even more of just pursuing,
letting people know, hey, we're in the community,
this is where we're at. And you had a mixed group of people. You had a group from Florida that came up to support you, and then you had people from other local ministries, and then new people too from the community. I noticed that as well. And you had that. I think you had Sheena and Andy Mineo. So that was awesome to just get them, you know, feeling like, hey, this is what we like. This is our
we
style.
like hip hop.
And then the best part about it was that when it was over, you know, you and Andy sat down and let people open up and just ask questions, and you shared your heart. You know, it's not just like, we're gonna put on a concert and let you know we're here and then see you next week. It's like, no, let's talk. You know, we're gonna give you this time to talk. And even after.
And even intertwined with that night was us going through what we consider our core values as church.
Right, exactly.
So we would have music, and then we would come up and share in a creative way. Hey, this is community's big for us, or hey, the Bible is big for us. Hey, Jesus is a big deal for us, kind of thing. So I think we're very intentional to say we are a church that loves Jesus, and our target are the people that live in this community. And the people that live in our community aren't just hip-hop heads.
Right, and with that, I mean, we've mentioned Andy's name, and it's not just because we're mentioning the artist part of Andy, but he has another level of involvement.
Responsibility,
responsibility, right? Sorry.
Quick, ask him now. Ask him.
Go ahead.
He does. So every time thus far that I've mentioned Andy, it's in reference to his leadership role at CCF. Everyone knows Andy as the artist, but at home, nobody cares about that.
And that's what I'm trying to make sure we understand.
At CCF, not that nobody cares about it, but we downplay that, you know, because he's a fellow leader, and he's some other's leader, and that's how they view him, or at least we're very intentional about making sure that, hey, Andy is your church leader. Correct. Right? Don't come to him.
Don't come looking for autographs.
Don't come no autographs. Now, what's interesting is sometimes we get visitors that come because Andy's part of our church.
Right.
And we've had conversations where we say, I don't know if we necessarily have a problem with that. Like, they can come for whatever reason, but let's keep them for the gospel.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. So you're here for Andy? Cool. Say what's up. Now listen to why we're here.
Yeah, I mean, we have people that come to church. Oh, Bert goes to church. Let's go check them out.
Right, Rap
and they'll stay. Yeah, Rap. After Rap Fest is where you get all the visitors, right?
Sure.
How do we get on next year, yo? I'm coming to
it's
church.
like you're not gonna see bodyguards around Andy on a Sunday, right? It's we're regular. We got it together.
We downplay that. I mean, he leads one of our small groups, right? We have 3 now. He leads one of our small groups. He teaches from the front, you know, when schedule aligns itself. He vision casts for us. Part of our service is that we take 5 minutes just to talk about our church, and we're still in that baby phase where we need to be vision casting.
Sure, and that's important.
So Andy does that, and he's just another leader at our church. He's an important leader. We love him, but in terms of his, you know, what he does for a living, we involve our people in that. Hey, Andy's got a show here next week. We want to support him. Yeah. But when it comes to church matters, he is a leader at the church, you know. So we don't.
Definitely.
We try not to promote that too much.
That's good. Talking about music and you.
Yeah.
I was forwarded a track called Uptown by Rich Perez.
Yeah.
What's up with that? Well, I know you'll hear it in a second, but I heard it already. It's New York. It's a New York track for me. So tell us a little bit about this Uptown.
I really love my community, and I say that with all sincerity. I want to live for the good of Washington Heights. I want to love God, and I know that through my love for God, I'm going to give the proper love to Uptown Manhattan. So Uptown is just kind of like a mantra for my community.
Do you play it every time you go up to preach?
I don't.
Music.
All right, let's go. We're going to talk about you. No, so this is just a collection of my memories growing up in Inwood, Washington Heights, talking about those memories and being able to elaborate on the fatherlessness of our community. So there's tons that I talk about, but I think what I hone in on is just the lack of men, the lack of fathers that we see in our community. And I try to speak about that from a personal perspective, and then also from a redeemed perspective of what I saw in my home. I had a good dad, I had a good mom, and just being able to share the gospel. Hey, you don't know what a father is because our community has very few of them, but let me tell you about one who wants to be your father. And so that's the angle with the talk. So it's I wanna big up my community, but at the same time I wanna expose it and talk about how it can be healed from that. Amen. Where they lack, which is the gospel.
Amen. So check it out right here on RapFest Radio, rapfestradio.com. I want to say exclusive.
Yeah. I've never really let anyone else hear.
Uptown by Rich.
You only hear it here.
And we'll be back with more. Check it out.
Here we go. Yeah, I love where I'm from. Wash, hike, stand up, get it till we done. Cause I'ma stick around until the body rests. Down the block, head nod, shouting Kello Cab, better yet. I plant roots, let the seeds grow. Hands to the dirt, trust God till I see my death. Cause then I'm on to the next one. I'm living for the city in the sky like the Jetsons. We aim high, the kind of stuff that you tell sons and tell daughters. Leave a legacy, kinda like a real father. I'm not saying try hard, I'm saying trust God who made all, came down, paid all. Cause sometimes it feels like you won't see, but you can sure listen well like Ray Charles. I'm unashamed cause he's for me. He is the father like Vader. Salute to the savior that's uptown. Here we go. They say that kids mess your plans up. Styles getting cramped up. Help them out, Ruben. Tell them youngin', put your hands up. Man up, kids are an answer. Kinda like manna from God so that we can advance her. I remember vividly, mom with her hair up, cleaning up, and my pops making that Havana. Ma, I miss you. Those were the days. And plus, Felanito Villalona on that radio. Yeah, old school heads know what's up. Yeah, I got to see this picture growing up. See the bigger picture up in Genesis. A father loving, serving, leading up in every crib. Can you picture God telling his creation that he made us and was mistaken? Nathan, God is a father like none. He drew up the plan, in the center was his son, the savior.
That's Uptown by Rich Perez, and if you want the third verse, you gotta wait for the official release.
That's it.
Right? There's a third verse, you said.
Yeah, there is.
Yo, but
we'll
you
get the exclusive.
Well, this wasn't exclusive.
This was exclusive. We gotta get the official one later. We're gonna play it.
And this track is produced by Andy.
It was, yeah.
And look, awesome.
Hey, let's go through some quick announcements here before we forget. RapFest 2012 is coming up August 11th. All roads lead to RapFest 2012 at the Pathmark Mall at 174th Street and Longfellow Avenue. We encourage you to come with your neighbors, your cousins, your family, your youth groups, your pastor, whoever you can, bring them out. There's space for everybody. We have Nikki Cruz as our guest speaker. We're really excited to have him there, as well as K-Drama, The Rep, and a whole list of artists. We encourage you to go to rapfestinc.com for all of the details, and you get their Twitter information there. You can follow them as well. Also, if you're a vendor and you want to be part of RapFest and have your table set up, you could choose one of the links from there so you can sign up to be a vendor at RapFest 2012. And then going back the night before RapFest, we'll have a big celebration send-off type service at the Sanctuary Fellowship Church, 1469 St. Peter's Avenue. That's a church we attend. And we have guest speaker Jacob Burgai from Fuel Conference. He's going to be speaking that night. We have music by J. Cruz Project and Rayma. I always want to say Rayma Soul. Logos Rayma. Maybe they got to meet. We got to hook them up. We got to hook them up. They got to do a song. Logos Rayma Soul. Logos Rayma Soul. But Logos Rayma will be ministering in song that day as well. Yes. This is a free event. Costs you nothing, just time. We encourage you to come out. Doors will be open at 7 o'clock. 7:30 we start. We're going in. We're just going to have worship. I think you guys came to a night before. We did one before at Resurrection.
That's the one I remember most vividly.
Right. It was TRUCE ministered that night as well. And Urban D from Florida came and spoke that night. But, you know, it's just a night where we get to worship. The artists are there, but they're not ministering. They're not selling CDs or anything. It's just a straight up worship service, time of fellowship and encouragement for us before we go out to the streets the following day. Taking it back to the week before that, on August 4th, we're doing the God Belongs in My City / Rap Fest prayer walk at the Pathmark Malls, where we're going to meet at noon, and we're going to walk. We mapped out a 1.5-mile area where we're going to walk into the projects and just kneel down and pray. It's a great walk. You know, for exercise, hey, you do exercise Saturday, do it with us that day. And you know, for prayer, it's perfect, man. The neighborhood needs it. Pastor Bowser from Calvary Church, you know, he was telling us he's very involved in the community, so he has the statistics of crime rate and everything in that neighborhood, and prayer is so necessary.
Yeah, so that you say that down a couple blocks further down, just Saturday, I was just getting out of a church there and witnessed a humongous brawl with over about 25 people.
Brawl?
A brawl. Like, dudes had knives and everything. It was crazy. And the cops came on a little while after. So that's the type of neighborhood we're impacted.
Did you stay? Did you watch?
I couldn't, because I had a baby.
Eli will always stop and watch. Eli will roll down the window and say, what are you guys doing?
If I didn't stop and watch, you wouldn't know.
Sorry, we're fighting.
You wouldn't know this would happen.
Can you please leave us alone? We're trying to kill somebody over here.
He will do that. He will do that. All of a sudden, he like roll his window down. Yo, seriously, guys, you fighting?
I will. You never know. That's unique.
What's wrong?
No, but that's the area.
You start going after him.
Well, I was in the car. That's why I'm not stupid. I won't stop unless I'm in the car driving.
With the radio. Guys, are you fighting out there? But no, the neighborhood definitely needs a lot of prayer, and you know, we're excited that we're able to do this. You know, it's not so much about the concert on that Saturday. We pray that on August 11th, a lot of people would just give their heart to God and start a new life with Christ that day. But the prayer walk for the neighborhood is more important for us. You know, that's where we get a chance to really just focus on the families in the area. You know, and face these buildings and
people in the chat room would say they don't want you as their partner, that they on the prayer walk.
That's hilarious. Just watch them. Look, they're fighting. Let's pray for them now.
Yeah. If you're looking for you know, fights, just walk with Eli. He'll find them.
I'll find them.
Yeah. You should
make you pray for them.
You start these fights.
Make you pray. I think he does, man.
He does.
Oh,
man. About smacking people in the back of the head, so yo, he did that. No, but the prayer walk is really awesome, and we encourage you to come out if you're part of a prayer group in your church, or you just never experienced praying for people you don't know, because that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
You know, praying for people you don't know but you're supposed to love anyway. We encourage you to join us at 12 noon at the Pathmark Mall at East 174th Street and Longfellow Avenue on August 4th. That's the date, August 4th. We do have some other promos that we want to play, some other announcements. One is God Belongs in My City, which is coming up soon.
Shout out to Danny Sanabria,
Right, they're going to be partnering with us, of course, August 4th. And also the Fuel Conference, Pastor Jacob, who's going to be with us the night before Rap Fest. So we want to play their promos, and then we're going to come back with more. Check this out.
Yeah.
Would you pour out your spirit on our city today, God? Would you show up in the middle of our city, God? We will not be silent, but we open up our mouths.
Black out on them, go off in the sound. Black out on them, go off in the zone.
Tri-State.
I woke. And one day, it was there, pushing against my existence. The lines are drawn, not on the ground, but in my heart. My soul is at stake, and they are after. Run. My legs weary. I hide. In anger, I scream, but the sound doesn't stop him. We do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities, against the rulers of darkness. Fight! Run! I battle. Take the whole armor of God that you'll be able to withstand in the evil day. Having done all, stand. You are not alone. There is a force even greater. Life is precious, but it's finite. We have expiration. It's what we do with the time that counts. That's why I pray to the God who's infinite, the God who saves.
Fuel Student Conference, even greater. October 5th through the 7th, 2012. Hosted by Jacob and Tara Bergaz at Faith Fellowship Ministries. Featured artists, Canton Jones, Richie Righteous, Icon for Hire, Worth Dying for, Faith Jen Band, and DJ Why Not. Guest speakers, Tim Ross, John Gray, Jeremy Johnson, and Pastor Demola. Get registered at fuelcomp.com. It's more than just a conference. It's a movement.
Would you pour out your spirit on our city today, God? Would you show up in the middle of our city, God? We will not be silent, but we open up our mouth.
Black out on them, go off in the sound. Black out on them, go off in the zone.
Tri-State area, NYC, God bless you. This is Pastor Alan Jimmy Diaz here in the city of Jacksonville, Florida. And we're so excited for what you guys did out there in 2009. And now we see this movement rapidly moving out throughout the whole United States and throughout the nation. God bless you. We love you. Peace out.
What is up, everybody? This is Sammy Lopez from Reaction. This is Lucas coming to you live from San Antonio, Texas. What's up, yo? We want to give a big shout out to NYC, New York City, and the Tri-State area. God bless you guys, and thank you for allowing us to have and be a part of GBIMC, man. That's right, Texas has been rocking over the last several months. We're all connected all over the state, and we're looking to connect with you guys very, very soon. So God bless you guys. Once again, God bless you guys. Love you, New York. God bless my city, baby.
What's good, New York? It's your boy Eddie Arevalo, youth pastor, True Vine Tabernacle. I just appreciate what you guys did back in 2009, stepping up to the plate. So we just want to thank you guys for what you guys are doing. Continue to do the hard work that you guys are doing, because we see the fruits around the nation. So thank you guys. Be blessed. We love you.
My name is Bert from Miami, Florida. As we started talking to different youth leaders about God belongs to my city, we learned that everybody was in agreement to do this walk. And as we got together and we did this, we found there was such a great unity in the body of Christ. We became one body. Although we were from different churches, different denominations, we became one body to proclaim that God belongs in my city. So don't hold back, don't detain, let's go with it. So let's go and make that proclamation. I'll see you in the byways and highways. God bless you.
So there you go, 2 powerful events coming up that you definitely want to get involved with. God Belongs in My City, and also Fuel Student Conference that's coming up. Please visit their websites, register, do whatever you have to be a part of it, to tell your youth groups, your friends, your neighbors, everybody that's around you. This is definitely something you want to get involved with. And don't forget August 4th, the prayer walk with Rap Fest and God Belongs in My City. Yeah. Good. Wow, almost an hour has gone by already.
Really?
Yeah, we got like another 10 minutes or so, and we're done. So what I want to do now, just leave it up to you. Whatever's on your heart that you want to share with people, like what's the message Rich Perez is walking around with now, telling people? Like, what's the most urgent thing you need people to know? Aside from your like shirt size, if you want free T-shirts and stuff like that, we're not doing that. We're not doing that here today, man. That's for the next show.
Nah. Man, I don't know if I have any other pressing message than the gospel message. And I know that might sound cliche, but I think maybe our church name might say it all. You know, Christ Crucified Fellowship. 1 John chapter 1 talks about what Jesus's work on the cross really accomplishes. And that, number one, it accomplishes fellowship with our Creator, something that we lost back in Genesis 3. And then 2, it accomplishes fellowship with each other, something that was also lost back in Genesis 3. I was just talking about this with my sister-in-law earlier today. What Jesus Christ did on the cross by God's grace and through faith is what justifies us. And I think the temptation is to see what God is bringing to the table and to want to bring more. When in reality, all we need to bring is ourselves. And so, you know, you think about the gospel message being God bringing to the table his son, who brings grace, mercy, love, sacrifice, and redemption. And all we're bringing to the table is our sins. And so the temptation can really be, man, he's bringing a whole lot to the table. I'm only bringing my sins. Right. Let me bring in my good deeds. Let me bring in my actions. Let me bring in the fact that I'm a good student. And as opposed to marveling at the gospel message, you now feel entitled to say, well, he has to give me life. And he has to give me heaven and fellowship, because I've balanced off the offering table, where God is clearly saying, as Charles Spurgeon so well put, the only thing that we bring to our salvation is our sins. And the only thing we have is God's grace. And so I don't know if I have any other pressing message than that. We want to preach Christ crucified, and that's all, man.
You know, you mentioned Christ crucified and the name of your church, of course, and I was sitting here just thinking about the question earlier. Is considered a hip-hop church? It's kind of hard to consider yourself a hip-hop church with a name like Christ crucified. That's like straight up in your face, like Cristo viene ahora. How did you come about the name for the church?
Oh, geez. Okay, this is good. God gave it to me through a dream. A couple years ago, when I knew that God was calling me and my family to come back home and start a church, you know, I was wrestling with, man, what does this even look like? And I remember having a dream, and at the time, not of the dream, but in the situation of my life at the time, I was connected with tons of organizations that were helping us plant a church. Organizations like the Southern Baptist Convention, Acts 29, people that we all love and are now partnered with us. And so I remember, you know, having this dream where I was sitting in a warehouse type place, and I was sitting in a high chair just like this, but there was a spotlight on me. Didn't really know where I was, and then the light started to kind of not fade out, but kind of span out, and I started to see a little more of what was around me. And then right in front of me were 2 white gentlemen, young, you know, American dudes sitting in high chairs just like this. And the light began to just span out even more. And it was a warehouse filled with all sorts of doctors, you know, theological doctors and pastors that have been in ministry for years. And the majority of them were white, right? And so I'm sitting in this place, and they're asking me tons of theological questions, like, what do you think about baptism? What do you think about salvation? What's your view on eschatology? Well, how are you really saved? What's your vision on Jesus? And I remember that in the dream I was able to answer their questions, but they were coming at me at 100 miles an hour. That I just began to be overwhelmed. And I remember there was one point in the dream where I kind of just threw my hands up out of frustration of all the questions coming at me so fast. I threw my hands up and I said, listen, I might not be able to answer all of your questions, but one thing is for sure, I just want to preach Christ and Him crucified. And so I didn't think that they were attacking me. They were trying to do it in a helpful way. Hey, we want you to be prepared before you go do something like planning a church. That was the vibe. It wasn't anything bad. But I just felt like it was so much, and I just kind of threw my hands up and I responded with that. And so I woke up and I talked to some of my accountability at the time, and kind of just talked with my wife, and we just felt, man, we want to be reconciled to God, and we want to be reconciled with people. We want to live in a community that loves God, pursues God, and the only way that's going to happen is if we preach the gospel, which is Jesus Christ and Him crucified. And so the name kind of formed along the way.
Oh, amen. Amen. That's awesome, man. It's not just a couple of extra letters left in a hat.
Nah,
oh, that looks perfect. We'll keep it. That's the name of the church.
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, again, man, we appreciate you, man. We just pray that God will continue to open doors for you and
thank you, man.
Give you more wisdom as you continue with your ministry. And next interview, you say, we're pushing about 400 or 500 people now. Washington Heights. Or it's a drive-through. They come with in cabs and stuff. a drive-in church.
Or we say we've got a couple churches.
A couple of churches spread out. That's awesome as well.
Because we like to be intimate, but vision for us.
Meeting at the MGM Grand now. Something's got to grow.
Sure.
Oh, that's good, man. What days do you meet? On Sundays? What time?
We meet Sundays at 12 noon, but a half an hour before that we have what we call kind of like breakfast fellowship, where we invite people to come and just have coffee, orange juice, bread, chill with each other, do community for a little bit, and then we get to service at 12. We try to finish around 1:30, but sometimes it lingers, people just saying what's up, and then usually everyone kind of just flocks to a local restaurant afterwards to have lunch together. And then our small groups are, we have 2 small groups that meet on Tuesdays in different locations, obviously, and then Wednesday, another location. We have three small groups.
Every Tuesday and Wednesday? Or?
Every single Tuesday we have 2 groups that meet, and every single Wednesday there's one group
so
that
3
meets.
times a week you guys are
Amen.
That's awesome. That's good.
That's awesome. So there you have it, man. Christ Crucified Fellowship is the name of the church. You could email them at info@christcrucifiednyc.org. And you get all the information that you need regarding the church if you want to come and visit. You ever had church in the gym, a boxing gym? Might be it's the first time for everything, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Bring your camera, because nobody will believe you. But that's awesome, man. What we want to do, we want to end with a song by Andy. Andy got a lot of play today, so Andy, call me up. Andy Mineo has this Michael Jackson track featuring Thistle, yourself, R. Swift, and Bubba Watson.
Bubba Watson, yeah.
What a combination. How did that come about?
I don't even know, brother.
Have you met him?
I have not.
Oh, okay.
I haven't met him.
I know that he had a big concert featuring a lot of these guys.
Yeah,
too.
I know he won the Masters, so I can say, hey, I did a track with the guy.
With a real master. A real master. Master MC. Yeah, so that's what we're going to leave you guys with tonight. The track is Michael Jackson. Like I said, by Andy Mineo, featuring Thistle, Rich Perez, R. Swift, and yes, Bubba Watson. Yeah. That's great. I love the name. The name alone is like MC Bubba.
MC Bubba Watson.
MC Bubba Watson. Yo, catch you guys next week, 8 p.m. Monday from 8 to 9, right here at Rapfest Radio, rapfestradio.com. You will learn us because we are out of control. Peace.
Yeah, I go by M-I-N-E-O, but it really don't matter. Bury me with no tombstone. I want you to know my daddy. We don't seek him, he come after. We don't reach him, he the ladder. If you're down, you don't know him. That's a weekend like a Saturday. This one for my misfits. What I'm saying is we ain't being statistics. Nah, what I mean is the things you want me to get with, God is already ticked with. This is sin, in case you missed it. She might be fine like tickets. Don't love Jesus, we can't kick it. Cause I've been there, wish I didn't. Had to delete all them digits. They say Jesus, why you sit with the sinners and the wicked? He looking for the sick because the well don't need physicians. No, we never fit it cause they're looking that we living. It's evident that we're giving every minute for the king. Even though we trip, we think about the provision and giving the cover sinners when they rest up in his name. Yeah, and this is how it all happened. Adam fell, now it's all bad. Michael Jackson. This is bad. Real bad. Michael Jackson.
Y'all know who it is.
This is bad.
It's your boy.
Real bad. Michael Jackson.
Let's go. Was a bad boy, but my name ain't Diddy though. Way I rock my bird, they probably think I was from Philly though. STL, my home, you peep that bird on my fitted though. Go on ahead and cut me up. I don't think that they hit me though. Bang that bass, drop that thing. Go on ahead and let it flow. Raspy voice from the south, but my name ain't Mr. Cow. Used to run up on them boys, they look like what that pistol for. When Mike was rocking Billie Jeans, I was a smooth criminal. I'm talking bad. Mike Jackson thriller. I'm talking bad. Jacket and zip house. You looking mad. Like boy you tripping. But I'm talking past. I've been forgiven. Born sinner. The opposite of a winner. Remember when I used to eat with cheese for dinner? Daddy was gone, mom was gone. Had no choice, I told it wrong. Now I go and I preach the truth. Same blocks I hustled on. That's bad.
This is bad. Real bad. Michael Jackson. This is bad. Real bad. Michael Jackson.
Born sinner, you know how the line goes. Sardines with the wrath of God, this is mind blown.
That's a big deal.
Rebel against the God who stretched the heavens with his own fingers like an iPhone. Now what a relief, it should have been me, but he didn't see it the same. He took up the cross to give me his life, the truth created a way. He could have just blown me away. Instead he would offer his grace, something I didn't deserve, so I'm living for him in the flesh and to die is my game. Let me say that again. He lived, he died, he rose to give me a raise. Christ crucified, yeah it happened. Now it ain't bad, oh bad. Michael Jackson.
This is bad. Real bad. Michael Jackson. This is bad. Real bad. Michael Jackson.
I was headed to death at the least, fading with every breath till he beheaded the beast. A victim of my own prison, impersonating the throne, persuaded two-tone hearse waiting. An easy target for worse aiming, flavor for birth, the walking curse verbatim. I was on that Kurt Cobain, but ain't the same. This is that blood flowing with no vein. Catch me grinding in the clutch, grin reaper on my back, but I never been much of a deep sleeper. So excuse me for being eager to give them the truth instead of feeding the streets ether.
This is bad. Real bad. Michael Jackson. This is bad. Real bad. Michael Jackson.
It's your boy Bubba Watson, Golf Boys, 116, Reach Records, X Hustler, Michael Jackson, I'm bad. I don't know, I forgot.